Hello everyone, my name is Ranger. Long time no see to all of you guys. I know it's been a hot minute, but I've just been busy here and there, and I hope all of you guys are doing well, and hope the Thanksgiving festivities have been treating you guys quite well. So something that I want to talk about today is going to be the new character that we are going to be seeing in the next patch, or the next update technically, and that is going to be forgot. One is a professor, one is a student, and I'm really stoked to see how things are gonna go with them. And so this whole video is gonna be just me talking about them, what my opinions are, how I view them, and potentially what kind of characters you guys might need. Personally, I'm not really that deep and versed into the game. I just love playing this game, as you can see. I mean, I just dump and buy a crap a ton of characters, as you can just tell of all my premium characters I have. But yeah, I mean, I think we can just probably start things off and see how we go from there. Okay. All right. So now that we're on the Withering Waves official X account, I'm gonna be talking about involving with, of course, the new Resonator, Mornye. I think that's called Mornye. But whatever she is, what's interesting is that when I first saw her, I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely thought she was gonna be a cryo character, if not a havoc character, based on like the description that we've seen from her so far. I mean, it kind of basically looks like it. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I mean, like, does this not spell out like outer space? You know, outside to the moon. I mean, we literally see the planet from a distance from here. But I guess not. I mean, she's a fusion character, which is quite interesting. Personally, I know this has brought a lot of questions to the table from a lot of the fan base and the community. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, this is not the first time we've had a situation like this. I mean, we got what is their name again? I don't know what's going on. I'm forgetting these names one by one. Let's check this out. Augusta, yeah. So Augusta right here, a lot of people had thought that she was going to be a fusion-based character. You know what I mean? She was, based on Malvika from Genshin. Well, not based on, but a lot of people made the similarities between the two. And, everyone thought that she was going to be a fusion character. Malvika is a pyro character, but it made a lot of sense when we found out that she was an electro character. Well, we didn't know why they chose the electro character, but eventually we were able to get used to it because, the sun is made out of plasma. It's not actually made out of fire. It's just hot plasma that, makes sense with electricity here. So I personally don't have any issues with that, and it made a lot more sense right there. But for Mornye, I don't know why she's a fusion character. The only thing I can understand what makes sense is that, like, she's probably, similar to the stars, the suns, or the stars to be more exact. That's the correlation with it. And, like, stars are made out of certain masses, okay? And these are, like, particles, I guess, made out of energy. That's, like, the only thing I can think of. Like, they are constantly burning. Like, that's something that people don't know, is that stars are constantly burning. They're like falling apart on each other, like the sun is. So I can kind of see why that could be fusion. It's like a fusion reaction that's going on within the sun. But that also questions about, the electro resonator as well. So there's that, I guess. But something I also noticed was in the video, when they were talking about the students. I don't know which video it was entirely. I think it was this one right here. They were talking about how fire is very important in Lahai Roi's academy. It's basically a symbol right here. And that's something I found pretty interesting about it. Yeah, we are shepherds of fire. That's right there is something that I found interesting. And so I can see this being very important. Not to mention, I've always had this, well, within the time that she was first released, I had a suspicion that she was going to be very important. There's going to be some significance with this character. And while thinking about this, I mean, I could be totally incorrect about this, okay? She could just be a resonator. But Yeah, she could just be a resonator, but or she could be someone higher up, like Carthathea maybe, or Cantarella. Some people forget that Cantarella was a resonator for um, uh, the horse god. I don't. These names are leaving out of my head, but that's something that I've noticed. But when looking at this character, first off, design's amazing. I love the see-through legs. I mean, it's not really see-through, in technically speaking. Maybe it is if we had a different view of it. I really like the halo that she has right here. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of reminds me of a Blue Archive character. I don't know which one though. I mean, there's it just has that energy. I'm not gonna lie. And not to mention, what's really confusing to me right now is the Broadblade. I don't know how they're gonna make that happen. I mean, as far as I know, they have had one character that. Yeah, Jinshi. Yeah, Jinshi would probably be the character that I'm thinking of right now, where she has the sword that swing, 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 but she's not really touching it. Um, she's not really touching her weapon. And I believe there's one character in Genshin as well that swings around a blade. I could be totally wrong. I could be so wrong about that. Forgive me if I'm incorrect about that, but I swear, I don't know if there was another gacha. Oh, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I'm thinking of another gacha game. But they have a weapon, which is a sword, and it swings around. You know what I mean? Like, manipulating gravity or space, moving around like the force of a Jedi. You know what I mean? Twirling that thing around. So I can see Mornye having a broad blade weapon. Maybe it's just a whole blade. Maybe there's no hilt to it, and she's just swinging it around with her powers right here. I mean, I can totally see her having galactic powers like space, time, energy, stuff like that. The Force. And so I think there's a possibility that could be happening right here. I just would find it very goofy if we had a character like that going on right there. I mean, think about this. She has a short build, and she's wielding a broad blade weapon, a very long blade. It just looks so out of place. Does that make any sense? I don't know if it makes any sense. I mean, I guess some characters that can make any correlation would be like some of the Genshin characters. I mean, I can probably think of like, what is the name of some of these characters? They keep leaving out of my damn head. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I guess Chongyun. Chongyun's a short character that wields this broad blade or a claymore. Freminate is another one. Yeah, these names are starting to come up now. Noelle was really awkward for me. I'm not gonna lie. He was really awkward. Razor, I kind of understand. What's the other? Oh, Sayu. Yes, Sayu. Sayu was so out of place with me when they were wielding a claymore. It just didn't make any freaking sense. It just didn't make any sense. So I think the best option would probably be using like the Force, and Mornye just swings that blade around like like she's Anakin Skywalker or Obi-Wan. I know some Jedis have used the Force to shoot their weapons out. So there's something right there. Because she's a fusion character, there's a very good chance that she's gonna be no, it's not even a good chance. It's a 100% chance that she's gonna do really well with Lupa. Lupa's gonna be very necessary, or will be a needed character here. She buffs fusion damage, basic attack percentage. Lupa's just a well-rounded character that just does well all the time. I mean, there's just no going wrong with her. Like, her set is pretty freaking good overall. I mean, I can't really think of anything else that can go wrong with that, honestly. I mean, right here, Yeah, these are all like really, her forte is amazing, resonance is good, her intro skill is amazing. You can work all of this out together and then get the damage boost that is necessary for her to get. Which is why I think Mornye is going to do really well with Lupa. She's definitely going to be a necessary. Now for other characters that would be needed, Brant would probably be another choice right there. This is all under an assumption that Mornye is a DPS, a main DPS character. Okay, so I think Brant would be a good choice to have for this option right there, which would mean I have to, put Changli to the side, which I would never do. I would probably just have another Mornye team that I'd probably try to build, or just swap them out. But yeah, there's that. Or have a Shorekeeper. You know what I mean? Shorekeeper is one of the best, if not the best, buffer and healer in the game, in my personal preference and factual wise. So there's that. So some characters to think about and look out for. I would like to assume most people have Shorekeeper, but I'm always, willing to be surprised about that. Now, when it comes to the next character, Lynae seems to be a character that I was not expecting. With further thought, kind of made sense to me, honestly. So one thing that came to my head was that she's a graffiti artist. Okay, she does something with spray cans. That's kind of basically the energy I kind of got with some of the paint that was on her before, on her art. And not to mention, this basically, says yes, that is the case. I mean, you can see the little spray paint or the paint can on the floor right there on the bottom left of her art, splash art. And then her motorcycle that she has, which by the way looks wicked as hell. This honestly fits the vibe right here. And I'm not really trying to bash anything or anyone, but Mavica, motorcycle, and Genshin Impact, that didn't make any real sense, honestly. I love it. I love the design, but it didn't make any sense. But for Lynae, it looks amazing. And from what I know about the new region that we're going to be going to, it's going to be futuristic. And from what I've heard and seen, potentially some indigenous connection right there. But so far, Lynae seems to be going with the futuristic side, the more modern or mechanical era that's going on right here, and I think that's a really nice thing. But now when we come to the fact that she's a Spectro pistol user, that's something that I didn't understand until it did hit me. Light is pretty important with how artists define, I forgot what the terminology is. If there's an artist that's watching my videos, please let me know. But you need light to understand on how to paint and draw. It's like gives you that shadowing effect to understand how to draw in a certain way to make it look real, with realism maybe, or with a cartoon aspect. So that's something that I kind of understand. Though when I first saw her, I thought she could potentially be, I'm not gonna lie, I thought she was gonna be an Electro. That's what I kind of thought that she was gonna be. She kind of has that punk rock kind of girl or something like that. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just tripping. But yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I got. But yeah. Oh, and maybe it's because of her jacket. Honestly, maybe it's her jacket with the, elastic plastic that's in the interior side right there, like a raincoat kind of. That's probably why. But for the pistol, yeah, no, that makes sense. I'm not surprised about the pistol part. The pistol kind of actually just fits really, honestly. I was under impression that she might have been a sword user, but a pistol user was, honestly the next best option, honestly. So yeah, no, that's a pretty chill thing going on right there, which is why this character is going to be very important currently right now. I don't think she's going to be a main DPS, but if she does become a main DPS, that would be amazing. I know Carlotta has been a little bit falling down recently, or has been, and so it'd be nice to have another main DPS pistol user, or just buff Carlotta again. But I don't think she's going to be main DPS, but if she becomes a DPS, that's amazing. But I think she's going to be sub DPS, and because of that, I think she's going to be important to be used with Phoebe, if that makes any sense. If for those people that don't use teams that have healers, I would probably say that you want to have Zani, Lynae, Phoebe. That is probably the team you want. But if she is a main DPS user, then I would say Lynae, Phoebe, and probably the short girl that heals. She's another Spectral Frazzle user, or just Shorekeeper, honestly. Yeah, no, Shorekeeper. What am I thinking about? Yeah, just she's Shorekeeper. That would be probably the best 3 team right there if Lynae is a main DPS. But sub DPS support, probably honestly, Zani, Lynae, and Phoebe. I don't really know what else team she can be in, because she's Spectro. They don't really have that much of a variety as of right now. I mean, currently the best Spectral user is Shorekeeper. I would also honestly say Phoebe's also up there. She's really good. But she's only good with Zani. Keep that in mind. Zani's amazing, but she's only amazing with Phoebe currently at this time being. But honestly, I think things can work out. Oh, we also have to keep in mind we have Spectral Rover, which I'm in love with. I love Spectral Rover. I play both male and female because I have 2 accounts. And they're just amazing to just boom nuke that thing with their intro skill. So I think Lynae has a lot of potential if you were to go with that route with Spectral Rover. Keep in mind. So you want to probably stack as much Spectral Frazzle as possible with Phoebe and with Rover. And then so you can have that. Or you can stack a lot of Spectral Frazzle or other debuffs abilities with Lynae and Phoebe for Zani to do. So that's going to be pretty important right there. And so I see there's a lot of potential chance with these characters going on forward with that. And so yeah, I mean, like, honestly, right now, currently, isn't it a coincidence that Phoebe is currently on the banner right now as we speak? 11 days, guys. I would probably be willing to bet that Phoebe might be very important and useful to use once Lynae comes out. And I think Lynae is going to be the first one coming out in the patch, probably. And so I would probably recommend Lynae to go. And then, yeah, probably. So Phoebe would be good. Oh, and then with Chisa. I think Chisa is a great character. I haven't pulled her yet, but I have seen her gameplay and I have played her trials, and I think she's amazing. She's really good. I'm not gonna. I thought she was gonna be a main DPS, but turns out she was a support healer, basically. But I think Chisa may be pretty useful for one of these 2 new characters that are coming up. Okay, just a thought. I think that Chisa is gonna be very useful with Mornye. I think so. I think there's a very good possibility that Chisa is going to be useful for Mornye. If not, one of the 5 characters that we were just introduced to the academy. Okay? Because as far as I've seen, Chisa is already useful as of right now. Okay? If I'm correct, I think she's like tier 1 or tier 0.5 from what I was looking at. But as far as I know, I think she has a higher potential to become a T0 or high T0.5 support or sub DPS for one of the academy characters that we were just shown. Because right now, Chisa is a little bit in the weird space right now with these other characters. I mean, she works with Siokona, Cartithia. There's that team over there. I think she also worked with Zani and Phoebe, if I'm correct. I'm trying to remember the teams I used to look at. But yes, I think those are the things that you should be looking into. So I think Chisa has a lot more potential with these future characters. I mean, that's how all gacha games are. They eventually will just become better with the newer characters. Basically, the supports. The supports are basically a long-term purchase or a long-term investment, if you think about it. A lot of the support and healer characters are an investment for future characters. I mean, Shorekeeper was one of the best investments I've ever had. I mean, I was in love with the character, so I had to pull her no matter what. So there's that. But yeah, other than that, for those that are like looking for these new characters in the future, I wish you guys best of luck, and it's really nice to see you guys here again. I will be uploading my Chisa polls soon. I currently just, I no spoilers, but you'll see the video shortly one of these points, alright? But other than that, yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Happy Thanksgiving. Well, it's already been past Thanksgiving, but yes, happy Thanksgiving to you guys still. Late happy Thanksgiving. And happy holidays for you guys if I don't upload another video by then, aside from the cheese polls. Other than that, stay well, stay swell, my friends. Mwah!